Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. Today I got another Population 1 video for you all, and we're going to talk about weapons, and specifically assault rifles. Let's go! There are currently 3 different assault rifles in the game, and we're going to start with the MK18. The MK18 is a semi-automatic 3-round burst assault rifle which starts at the lowest level with 18 rounds in the magazine. Let's start with taking a look at the bullet spread of the MK. First, we fire a full magazine single-handed. Next, we will fire a full magazine two-handed. And now, while aiming down the sight. If we take a closer look, we can see that even one-handed the bullet spread is pretty low and all shots remain relatively close to each other. Of course, as expected, firing your weapon one-handed is least accurate compared to two-handed or aiming down the sight. So now, let's take a look at some stats of the MK. Each weapon can be found in 4 different colors representing an upgrade. In order from worst to best, you can find white, cyan, purple and golden guns. For assault rifles, each upgrade increases your magazine size. For the MK, we can see that you start with 18 rounds at the lowest tier, increasing by 6 rounds each tier you go up. Next, we will take a look at the damage output of the MK. There is different damage for a body shot than for a headshot. The MK does 15 damage per body shot and 22 damage per headshot. So now let's take a look at the pros and cons of the MK. As pros, the MK has a holographic sight. Some like the holographic sight, some don't, but it's better than nothing. As we have seen in the bullet spray test, there is very little recoil on the MK, which makes it very accurate. Now for the cons. You can only fire the MK in 3-round bursts, which is a real disadvantage against fully automatic weapons, especially in close quarters combat. The magazine size is pretty small, so you will see yourself reloading more often than you would like. Next, we will be taking a look at the AKM. The AKM is a fully automatic assault rifle with a 20-round magazine at the lowest tier. Now let's take a look at the bullet spray test with the AKM. We will start again one-handed. Next, two-handed. And last, while aiming down the sight. When we take a closer look at the weapon spray, we can see that the recoil and thus spread of the AKM is pretty huge. Especially when firing one-handed, the AKM will rarely find its target. Two-handed, the recoil seems to be okay and manageable, but especially while aiming down the sight, you can be pretty consistent with the AKM. As mentioned, the AKM starts with a magazine size of 20 at the lowest tier. With every upgrade, you get an additional 4 rounds in your magazine, ending up with a maximum of 32 rounds with a golden AKM. Now let's take a look at the damage output. The AKM does 17 damage per body shot and 25 damage per headshot. This is more than the MK18, so in that case the benefit goes to the AKM. So for the pros of the AKM has the highest damage output combined with a fast rate of fire. It's fully automatic and it has a red dot sight. The only con for the AKM is the relatively small magazine size. Now let's take a look at our final assault rifle. Up last we have the CX4. The CX4 is also a fully automatic assault rifle, but comes with a 30 bullet magazine at the lowest tier. This is more than any of the other 2. Here's the bullet spread test with the CX4. Again, first one-handed. Two-handed. And while aiming down the sight. You will probably immediately see that the CX4 is an absolute laser any way you fire it and has almost no recoil or bullet spread. This is mostly caused by the lower rate of fire. CX4 has the biggest magazine size of all ARs, starting with a 30 round magazine at the lowest tier. With every upgrade, the magazine size is increased by 5, giving it a whopping 45 rounds at the golden tier. The damage output of the CX4 is the same as the MK15, with 15 damage for a body shot and 22 damage for a headshot. This is also less than the AKM. The pros of the CX4. It's a fully automatic rifle with a big magazine and very little to no recoil, making it possible to hit your target very consistent at medium to long range. It also has a red dot sight. The one con of the CX4 is its very low rate of fire. This makes the weapon useless at close quarters and a disadvantage against any other faster firing weapon. Now let's compare our 3 assault rifles and see how they stack up against each other. When we look at the magazine size, it's clear the CX4 is the better of the 3 weapons. The MK has the smallest magazine at the white tier, but the AKM loses ground in the other tiers. If we take a look at the damage output, the AKM stands out. Since there is no change in damage output when upgrading a weapon, the AKM is the clear winner here. But there is a more important statistic when combining magazine size and damage output. When we add rate of fire into the mix, we get a very important stat called damage per second, or DPS. So let's take a look at the MK18 first. The MK fires a full magazine of 18 rounds in 3.05 seconds, for a total damage of 270. Dividing the damage by the time it takes, we get a DPS of 80.52. The CX4 shoots 30 rounds in 5.06 seconds, for a total damage of 450. This comes down to a DPS of 88.93. This is only slightly higher than the MK, but you can do way more total damage with one magazine. But in a 1v1 situation, they are pretty much tied. Last, we have the AKM. The AKM fires 20 rounds in 1.88 seconds for a total damage of 340. This brings its DPS to a whopping 180.85, making it far more deadly than the other 2. In summary, the CX4 can do the most damage with a single magazine, but it takes a lot of time. The AKM has the highest DPS, making it the weapon that kills your enemy the quickest, and that's what's important in the end. So for my conclusion, I rate the MK18 with a 4. I advise you to only use this weapon when you have no other option. I rate the CX4 with an 8. The CX4 is a great weapon for medium to long range with its accuracy and large magazine, but it's not very useful in close quarters fighting against other weapons. I rate the AKM at a 9. The goal of the game is to kill your enemies, and the AKM does this the best and the fastest. Especially when you find a purple or golden AKM, you are set up for a win. I hope you all found this video helpful and you enjoyed it. If so, please leave a like for me. Also, let me know in the comments which weapon type I should focus on next. And please don't forget to subscribe. See you soon!